Since Treyarch just made the Giant available to everybody and not just people with the Season Pass, you know, those people that still somehow have faith in Call of Duty. I've decided to take a look at it to let you know if it'd be worth your money. Back in November 2008, the world was introduced to Call of Duty World at War. And it was pretty good! But there was one thing the developer Treyarch had up its sleeve. After beating the campaign, you unlocked a mode called Nazi Zombies, a mode in which you fought against hordes of the undead, and it was an instant hit, spawning 3 more maps and gaining unbelievable popularity. The last map, however, would be considered the best map by far in World at War, and to some people, in Zombies history. In August 2009, Treyarch released Map Pack 3, which included Derice. The Giant is rising. Face the might of the Nazi zombies in their heartland. This is where the master plan took shape. Is this where it ends?
Just take all my money! Oh, not this soon! Not this soon! Ah!
The map was so fucking great and became an instant classic. It was so popular it was remastered for the last map pack in Black Ops and was released again for Black Ops 3. So yeah, this map is kind of a big deal. The story for this map is rather interesting as it connects to the original Zombies storyline. We start off in Waffenfabrik, Derice, right after Richtofen teleports Samantha and Maxis to the moon. Immediately after doing this though, Richtofen is held at gunpoint by Dempsey, Nikolai, and at sword point by Takio. They try to tell him the importance of awakening the test subjects and not to open the teleporter. But Richtofen, being Richtofen, pushes the button anyways and outsteps the Origins Richtofen, who promptly shoots the older version of himself in the goddamn face. He then kneels down and does something to the corpse. Okay, I know you guys that have been following the storyline already know what he's doing, but for those of you just getting into the story, skip to this part in the video to avoid spoilers, if you care about that type of shit. The Origins Richtofen is collecting the soul of the original Richtofen using the Summoning Key, an ancient artifact that does something. Well, we aren't really sure what it does other than summon random people to be slaughtered or collect souls, so at this point I can't really add much to that. Anyways, the other 3 tell him that he is a fool for changing history, but Richtofen says he does what he does only for a better tomorrow, and the map starts. So that's the story. And here are my problems with it. So after you start the map, the story is carried on through dialogue that the characters share with each other. This is great, but it also starts to make the cutscene fall apart a bit. Firstly, one of the characters, I'm not sure exactly who, but I think it's Nikolai, says that this isn't the first Richtofen he's killed. Okay, so if you've killed a bunch of other Richtofens, then why would you call Origins Richtofen a fool for changing history? You've clearly done that many times by yourself. 2. I'm presuming that the trio was originally trying to stop Richtofen from teleporting Samantha and Maxis to the moon. But if that's the case, then why didn't they just go back a little bit further? Like literally 2 minutes earlier, and they would have had enough time to save them. Even if this wasn't the case and they just wanted information on the test subject's whereabouts, why wouldn't you just injure Richtofen? Like, shoot him in the leg? Because if this was supposedly one of many Richtofens you've killed, then wouldn't you know he would do exactly what he did? And finally, let's get back to calling Richtofen a fool for changing history. It's been established already that in this zombie storyline there are multiple universes, so really you're just changing the history of one universe, not every single one. And while that may sound insensitive, you obviously don't give a shit since you killed like God knows how many Richtofens. You see folks, this is something that I hate about time travel stories. It's very difficult to get the plot right with no repercussions somewhere that creates huge plot holes later down the road. Don't get me wrong, I really like what Blundell and his team have done so far, even if he is the most memeable person alive, but I'd just like my Zombies storyline to make some logical sense for once. So many people, including myself, were hoping that Blundell and his team would add more playable areas to this map. Like open it up a bit more and let us explore some places that we haven't been before. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, that wasn't the case. It's the same map as before with updated graphics, a new story, and a couple new Easter eggs. In short, if you played Derice, you've played the Giant, but for those who are just learning about this map, I think it's important to give a quick rundown on how the map works. In the starting room, you'll notice a locked up Pack-a-Punch. How do we get to it? Well, that's this map's gimmick. You have to link 3 teleporters to the mainframe located in front of the Pack-a-Punch. Each time you do this, you'll lower the door to the Pack-a-Punch a little bit. Honestly, I think this has to be the easiest Pack-a-Punch to get to besides Town, where it was available to you right off the bat. And for those of you just getting into zombies, understand that this is only the beginning in terms of multiple steps that you have to do to open the Pack-a-Punch. Later maps have you do some crazy fucking shit just to get this stupid thing open. What does Pack-a-Punch do exactly? Well, it allows you to get a significant buff to your weapons at the cost of 5,000 points. And while you may not think it's necessary at the start, trust me, you'll need it if you want to kill anything later on down the road. The big thing about this map at the time was the newly introduced teleporters, which have made an appearance in some shape or form in almost every zombies map since. They really help you in a pinch. No matter what teleporter you take though, remember that it will always bring you back to the mainframe, so be prepared for that. There are a few decent places to train on this map. You've got the furnace room, the spawn room courtyard, and the second courtyard by the power switch. Other than that though, every location in this map is just a stop on the way to get to one of those training areas. There's tight hallways aplenty, so try not to get trapped in those. It's extremely easy to do, but I know what you're wondering.
Enzo, aren't you gonna talk about the catwalk?
Well yeah, it's a great place to camp. Seriously, you just sit there and aim for the head and you'll slice through them like butter. Don't expect to stay here forever though, as you will start to burn through ammo quicker and the zombies easily overwhelm you. In terms of strategies for these training areas, I always recommend trying to get the haymaker out of the box and whatever wall weapon is closest to you so you can buy ammo if you run out. Since we're on the subject of training, let's talk about the Pack-a-Punch and the new feature it brings to the table. For a cost of 5,000 points, you can upgrade your weapon, which is pretty standard stuff. But if you go up to the Pack-a-Punch again with the same weapon, you'll notice that the cost is 2,500 to repack your weapon. If you do this, you'll receive an alternate ammo type to your gun. This is where it gets fun. You have Turned, which will turn one of the zombies you shoot to fight for you, Fireworks, which will randomly spawn, you guessed it, fireworks to absolutely obliterate zombies, Thunderwall, which after so many shots will act like the Thunder Gun's retarded cousin, Deadwire, which will electrocute a string of zombies to death, and my personal favorite, Blast Furnace, which will set all zombies in the immediate area on fire and killing them pretty damn quick. Blast Furnace is what I highly recommend you put on your wall weapon. While training, you can fire off just a few shots and Blast Furnace will activate, killing almost your entire train. On the Haymaker, I would say that's up to you, although personally I prefer Fireworks or Turn depending on the situation. But fancy ammo types and a good training spot isn't all you'll need to survive, so let's talk perks. For those of you that don't know, perks are drinks that alter your character's abilities. There's Juggernog that gives you double your original health, Speed Cola that lets you reload faster, Quick Revive which lets you revive others faster, or if you're playing by yourself, it'll revive you, Double Tap which makes your gun shoot 2 bullets for the price of 1, and Mule Kick that lets you carry 3 weapons. However, one of the Easter eggs that Treyarch added in was the hidden 6th perk machine, which can be either Deadshot or Stamina. These perks are great, but I wouldn't recommend getting them on this map as you don't really need them.
Since we're talking about new stuff, I suppose I should mention Gobblegums. Throughout your adventure, you'll notice that the game sometimes gives you this stuff called Liquid Divinium. If you take said Liquid Divinium to Dr. Monty's factory, you can get up to 3 of these things. Think of them as perks, but way more varied. Seriously, look at all these. There's a Gobblegum for almost anything. One of the best ones, though, has to be this little beauty, Alchemical Antithesis. This gum allows you to trade 10 points for 1 bullet. While that may not sound great, it's amazing. Highly recommend putting this one on at higher rounds. Also, why is Secret Shopper put above a Perkaholic? Anyways, they're a great addition to the game. Definitely give these things a try.
Easter eggs are something we've come to expect out of Call of Duty Zombies. While this map doesn't have nearly as many as most others, the ones that it does have are still a really cool nod to the fans of the original Doris. There's the already mentioned 6 perk machine Easter egg which you can get by teleporting in each teleporter with a monkey. There's the Annihilator Easter egg that's just a cool remake of the Hide and Seek Easter egg from the original Doris, and the musical Easter egg is still activated the same, but has a remixed version of the Beauty of Annihilation. Now don't get me wrong, there's still a few more that I didn't get to, like Samantha's crying in the furnace room or the Mob of the Dead plane on the roof, but it's definitely not the biggest map for Easter egg. All in all, I think this remake is pretty cool, and it does do a lot of things right. However, if I would have reviewed this map at launch, I would have been singing a different tune. Everything was broken, especially the Wunderwaffe. I just don't understand how Treyarch had 3 years to develop this game and this somehow slipped past everyone. Anyways, in the map's current state, most of the problems were patched, and it plays much closer to the original Doris. I personally like it, though I usually just play it to grind out my zombies rank.
Or you can just do this.
Aw, hell yeah!